Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Begakar Ahmed and welcome to today's video. Today I want to be going ahead and speaking about Muharram and the day of Ashura. And this is very important because we are in the third or fourth day now of Muharram. For those who do not know what Muharram is, it is a month in the Islamic calendar and it is the first month. So it is a new year. Happy New Year. On the Islamic calendar, but it is also not a very happy time for the Shia populations of the world. This time, this 10-day span of time, especially the 10th day, is going to be one of the worst times of human history, if not the worst time in absolute human history, not just Islamic history, and this marks the time of Ashura. Now, the time of Ashura and the month of Muharram is a very sad day because the grandson of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, had gone ahead and been martyred during this time. Not just Imam Hussain alayhi salam, his children, his brother's children, and many of their cousins, family members, and even companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, were slaughtered during this time. 73 companions and family members to be exact. Now, how did this happen? To relate it to modern day affairs, I would relate this to Gaza. The same way Israel surrounds Gaza, and they are a stronger military force that has closed in on Gaza and surrounds it from every single angle, north, south, east, west, closing on them. They control how much water they get, how much food they get, how much resources, how much trade they can do in and out, and they control the population from the outside in, right? This is very similar to how it happened on the battlefield of Karbala, almost 1400 years ago, with the beloved Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the grandson of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. A tyrannical leader named Yazid, son of Muawiyah, was given leadership without permission. He was given leadership wrongfully by his father Muawiyah, and he took this political leadership and he tried to force it upon the family of the Prophet, the companions of the Prophet, and so forth. And when Imam Hussain alayhi salam did not give his allegiance to this tyrannical leader, this tyrannical leader sent an army to go ahead and slaughter him and his family members and friends. Now, how did it happen? Imam Hussain alayhi salam was on a migration, and while he was on this migration, he was surrounded in his camp, and he had to camp out as he was surrounded by the leadership or the army of Yazid. And this army was supposed to pressure Imam Hussain alayhi salam to go ahead and give leadership or to give bay'ah or to give allegiance to Yazid as the Muslim leader of the world. Imam Hussain alayhi salam did not want to do that. This turned out into a bloody war with the Prophet's family and companions being starved out, being thirsted out, and being slaughtered brutally for this time being, over these couple days. Now, the reason that this is remembered and this is so revered as one of the worst times in human history is the Shia Muslims are very attached to the Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. When it comes to Sunni and Shia Islam, Shia Muslims take their Sunnah, or Sunnah meaning teachings of the Prophet, they take their teachings of the Prophet from the Imams or from the Ahlul Bayt that come from the family of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. They do not believe in the caliphship of Abu Bakr, of Umar, of Uthman, and so forth. So this is a very important time, and this marks a time where it gives you not just a remembrance of who the Ahlul Bayt was and why they're so important to the preservation of Islam. And if it wasn't for them, Islam probably would not exist today. But it gives you a strength today to keep moving through oppression, to keep moving through the shaitan's plan, and know no matter what, that even if you die, your legacy does not die with it. Your idea, your belief system continues to live on. And this is what is strong, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. It's survival of the fittest. The same way that you might be the strongest man in the room and you'll survive through all the other men is the same way that if you have the strongest belief in the room, it will survive forever until the end of humankind. This is very important to notate. That's why when you look at Gaza today, who are being surrounded by Israel, kind of like the army of Yazid surrounded Imam Hussain alayhi salam's companions and family members, is the same exact way that Gaza is being surrounded today. And the only people who are on the ground fighting and helping and trying to defend the people of Gaza are the Shia Muslims, the people who remember Imam Hussain every single year, people who remember the Battle of Karbala and those who passed away and those who were martyred during this time every single year. They remember this. And it's actually mind-boggling to me because you can see the laterals over 1,300, 1,400 years. You can see who is still holding on to this and what it actually does for the world. It allows the oppressed, it allows the weak, the one who has the strongest faith, it allows them to overcome whatever tyrannical government, it allows them to overcome however strong the power is and fight against it and win. And if they don't win today, they will win tomorrow. And this is the importance of Ashura. This is the importance of why Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the family of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, sacrificed themselves for the religion of Islam, for this today, to go ahead and build this strength within the Muslim Ummah. Not the split and the divide you guys see today. The split and the divide that you guys see today is all from this Wahhabi regime, is all from this mainstream of Sunniism that is being pushed and forced down your throats. This fitna, hate the Shia, hate the this, hate the that. They don't pray like you, they don't look like you, they wear a different color shirt than you. All of this crap to make you guys argue and fight and divide and divide and divide. That's all they want, is you to divide. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants his creation to come together. The shaitan wants you guys to divide, segregate your families, your friends, your communities, your ummah. He wants everything divided so he could split you into little categories and have you die upon disbelief. This is not the way. So what I'm going to go ahead and do today is show you guys a little bit of Karbala, show you what is happening during this 10-day period, and give you a couple different fun facts on what is going on and why it's so important. So to go ahead and show you, this is what the shrine of Imam Hussain alayhi salam looks like, the grandson of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. This is what the shrine looks like. Very beautiful place. From all of the imaging and videos that I've seen, I've never been here, but from everything that I've seen, it is gorgeous. It is amazing. I don't think that the Imams of the Prophet would approve, even like the Prophet's mosque that I went to in Mecca, with the Prophet's shrine and grave. I don't think he would very much approve of the billions of dollars that have been implemented around it and whatnot. But I do understand why it's like this in modern times, why it's like this today. Now, do people commit shirk here? It's possible people can commit shirk here. When I was in Mecca, I also noticed a lot of people committing shirk at the Kaaba. They really were obsessed with that box and stone, and all they were doing, they were trampling each other. Women were getting their scarves pulled off of their head, their hijabs were getting ripped off of their head because people wanted to touch or kiss the Kaaba or touch the black stone. And that right there to me is shirk in every way, shape, or form. And I think that people need to calm down. I understand that when you are visiting some of these places, that it can be very spiritual and it can overcome you with a lot of emotion. But to go ahead and utilize that emotion to start applying it to an inanimate object or someone who has already passed away is not the best thing you can possibly do. Okay? That's why Imam Hussain alayhi salam had died. He utilized that emotion, he utilized that strength in his faith to go ahead and keep this religion alive, to go ahead and preserve it through his sacrifice. And that's what you have to do. You have to know when to let go. And it's very hard when you're going ahead and visiting people that you love who have passed away, people who have so much honor and respect and weight in humankind, like Imam Hussain alayhi salam, who is not just an influence to Muslimin, but an influence to people non-Muslim as well. It's just amazing to me that that emotion can take you to a lot of different places. And I do forewarn a lot of people to be very careful with allowing your emotion to actually cause you to commit shirk or turn away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any way, shape, or form. I love the Imams, I love the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and I cry and I'm hurt and I'm upset when I hear what happens. But it's very important, especially like when I was in Mecca, like I'm saying, like there is nothing I dreamed of more than going to the Kaaba, right? When I got to the Kaaba and I was there and I was praying, I could not stop crying, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Like, it's like everything. I used to close my eyes in my room and imagine myself in front of the Kaaba praying. And then when I was in Mecca and I was praying in front of the Kaaba and I had my eyes closed and I opened my eyes and I saw the Kaaba, it's like I flashed from my bedroom to Mecca, and it was so amazing. It was so eye-opening, and it was super overwhelming, okay? Did that make me want to start kissing the Kaaba and hugging it and pulling women's headscarves off and punching each other in the lip and bleeding and ripping each other's hair out to touch the Kaaba? La. You know, I stayed quite far from it when it was busy. Like, when it was busy and there was a lot of people going around, I would just stay far from it because I need space and I need to connect to my creator. I don't want to connect to the creation. I don't want to connect to the Kaaba itself. I don't want to connect to the shrine of Imam Hussain. I want to connect to my creator. I want my creator to know my intention is for him and nothing else, right? And this is one of the craziest things and one of the issues that people see today. But this is why this time is so important, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Some facts about Karbala, some facts about the shrine of Imam Hussain, alayhi salam. I will go ahead and let you guys know that 20 million to 25 million people every single year go ahead and visit Karbala. They go ahead and take this pilgrimage to Karbala, Iraq. And this is more people than Hajj. Hajj, I believe, has 3 million people a year. So 3 million people a year go to Hajj pretty much due to the limit. More than 3 million people would go to Hajj and can go to Hajj. But the thing is, Saudi Arabia creates something called a Hajj visa and only approves so many people to come to go to Hajj every single year. So you can only have 2 to 3 million people at a time getting these Hajj visas and coming to Hajj. Where in Iraq with Karbala going ahead and taking this journey, they allow as many people as they want to go ahead and take this journey. And it is around 20 million people. And it is the number one migration of human beings on the planet to a specific location at a specific time of year over anything else in the world. It is the highest form of migration every single year is the migration to Iraq to go ahead and go to Karbala to visit the graves and the shrines of the Imams. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon us, told us to go ahead and visit the graves. It reminds us of death. It reminds us of the Day of Judgment. It is very important to remind ourselves of death. When it comes to Karbala as well, many people actually walk there. Like, walk all the way from their country there. From Lebanon, from Pakistan, from India, from Iran, from all over the Middle East. They walk from their country all the way to Iraq. And this is insanity to me. The normal route or migration is from Najaf to Karbala, I believe. But yes, ISIS indeed wanted to go ahead and take out this area. ISIS actually went ahead and made a statement a while ago. I remember saying that they were going to completely overtake Karbala, destroy the shrines, and it basically make the Shia go extinct, extinctify the Shia Muslims. They failed, obviously, and they will never get their hands on Karbala. The shrine was rebuilt, I believe, somewhere around 9 to 10 times over history, being destroyed over and over and over by the Abbasids and the Ottomans and much more over time. But other than that, this is a very, 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 very important site, right? Very important weight to this 10 days, to the 10th day especially, where the martyrdom actually takes place. And it's very important for Muslimin, not just Shia, but Sunni Muslims and Muslims all over the world, right? I don't care what sect you are, what you identify as. If you're not even Sunni Shia, I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Hindu. Some of the most strongest names on the earth outside of Islam, like Gandhi, for instance, used to quote Imam Hussain alayhi salam. It is very, 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 very important for you guys to understand the story. The story of Imam Hussain alayhi salam is the reason Islam is alive today. The story of Imam Hussain alayhi salam is the reason that the Shia Muslims of today are risking their countries, their infrastructure, their lives, and their everything for the people of Palestine and Gaza. Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the Ahlul Bayt have fully preserved the religion of Islam for 1400 years. It wasn't the Wahhabi regimes and the Sunni schools of thought and madhabs. It was the Imams that come from the Ahlul Bayt. This is very important, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, before he left us, told us he was leaving us two weighty things. One was the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Holy Quran, and the other was his Ahlul Bayt. There's a reason these two things go hand in hand, okay? This is the preservation of Islam, this is the preservation of the Quran, this is the preservation of the Sunnah, and this is Islam, the Ahlul Bayt. And it is very, very important that we understand who the Ahlul Bayt is, what sacrifices they made, and what they were about. Imam Hussain alayhi salam is one of the bravest men, if not the bravest men, to ever walk this face of this planet. And I am proud to be of his lineage. I am proud to be a Sayyid. And I am proud to call myself a Shia Muslim and remember this day and remember this time every single year. It's a time that I can keep myself away from music and haram. It's a time I can reflect on the preservation of Islam and who the Ahlul Bayt is. It is a time that I can keep myself focused and remember the important things and remember what it's like to die for a cause and die for a reason. And it's a time to reflect all of this and put it into action within my own life and put it into action within my societies and my communities. And this is why you're seeing, once again, the Shia Muslim communities defending and fighting for Gaza. There's no difference between the story of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and what's happening to the poor people of Gaza today. And this is why you can see the direct correlation and the Shia Muslims' hard fight when it comes to Gaza. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. I just wanted to go ahead and touch on this subject very lightly, just talk about it, show you some of it, and explain kind of what it is. I don't want to get too much into the stories and the specifics and the details and everything like this. Inshallah, we'll talk more about it as the week goes on, and Wednesday and Friday when I make my videos. But for right now, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. God bless every single one of you. And until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.